Will the Green Bay Packers have a top 10 offense? Does Aaron Rodgers' mustache make me question my sexuality? Yes. Grossi Posse Packer Nation! Welcome to an episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I am your host, Tom Grossi, and speaking of epic stashes, today we're going to be talking about the man in charge, the man with the stash, and if he can lead our offense to a top 10 offense. Now, we already did, can the Packers, or will the Packers, have a top 10 defense a couple weeks ago, and I was cautiously optimistic. I think that there is definitely a chance that they'll have a top 15 to defense, but top 10 is a little bit of a stretch because there's a lot of unknowns right now. We got a lot of free agents on the team. We got, Mike Pettin coming in his second year. There's some question marks at certain positions, right? For whatever reason, we can't keep linebackers healthy. And so I'm not ready to put the stamp on our defense being top 10 just yet. But I was also going to go around the same route as our offense and be like, I don't know. But then looking back at previous years and seeing where the Packers have had top 10 offenses, it happened a lot. And so I think with all the weapons in place, I think with all the changes that are going on within the offense, I think there's a really good shot that the Packers have a top 10 offense. And let me explain why. So, for example, since Aaron Rodgers became the starter in 2008, 7 times the Packers offense have had a top 10 offense in yards per game, and they've been in the top 10 8 times for points per game. So, in the past 2 seasons, which everybody and their mother who hates Aaron Rodgers keeps on quoting, this is where they're like, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers has lost a step. Well, if you look last year, where even Packers fans, including myself, were like, Rodgers didn't play up to his full potential. It wasn't an Aaron Rodgers season. We were still within the top 15 in yards per game and points per game. We were 12th in yards and we were 14th in points per game. And so we're still in the top 15. And then in 2017, which everybody quotes, again, Rodgers only played 7 games. We were 26th in yards and we were 21st in points. But if you go back to 2016, we were 8th in yards, 4th in points, and basically, then 2015 was bad. That was 23rd and 15th. But then you go 6th, 1st, 3rd, 8th, 13th, and 5th. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the offense has been really damn good under Aaron Rodgers for the majority of his career. So if you tally it all up, Aaron Rodgers has been the starting quarterback for 11 seasons for the Green Bay Packers. And obviously in 2017, he didn't play the entire year. He missed a few games in 2013 as well. In that, 7 out of 11 seasons, they've been in the top 10 for yards, and 8 out of 11, they've been in the top 10 for points per game. Those are incredible stats. And so with the improvements we've made already for this offense, I think that we are going to wind up being in the top 10 again. So, for example, in 2018, which everybody's harping on, we barely had Randall Cobb due to injury. We obviously didn't have any more Jordy Nelson. We had a ton of rookie wide receivers. Geronimo Allison got injured early on. Jimmy Graham got injured and didn't do anything. Aaron Rodgers only threw 25 TDs, but he was suffering from a leg injury the entire time, and we were still in the top 15. And that, obviously we lost a whole bunch of games, but our offense was still clicking when at least it could. Now, this year, not only do we have healthy running backs, who those were question marks last year, Aaron Jones getting injured, Jamal Williams having injuries, but we have 3 running backs who look great, right? We have Aaron Jones, who's obviously going to be the lead back. Then we have Jamal Williams, and then we have Dexter Williams, who has impressed the hell out of me in the preseason. And so that's a big thing, that it's going to take a lot of pressure off of Aaron Rodgers. You have a healthy Devontae Adams. You have Geronimo Allison. You have MVS, Kumaro coming in their second year on the team. Obviously, EQ just got injured last night, but he seems to only be out 4 to 6 weeks, so he will be a factor later on within the season. So, and Jimmy Graham hopefully is healthy. I'm not going to put too much stock in it, but we're going to keep like 115 tight ends on the team, so that's always good. Now, the question is, just looking at the improvements we've made, yes, we should be within the top 10. The big question mark, though, is are we going to be a top 10 under Matt LaFleur's offense? And if you look at Matt LaFleur's offense, when he was actually calling plays, I don't really count him being the offensive coordinator in LA with the Rams because he wasn't calling plays, so I'm not going to count that. But under the Titans, it's like, I don't know. So for example, yards per game last year, they were 25th, and points per game, they were 27th. And you look at those for Tennessee and you're like, oof, that's pretty rough. But if you take a look at where they are with passing yards and in rushing yards, they were 7th in rushing in the league and 29th in passing. Now, the Packers last year were 9th in passing and 22nd in running. And so they're basically polar opposites in that obviously Tennessee ran the ball much more efficiently than the Packers, but the Packers threw more efficiently because they have Aaron Rodgers than the Titans. And so if you put these things together, and you mesh them, right, that we're going to have a stronger running game. There's going to be an emphasis on the running game, this running back by committee that LaFleur is creating, and also changing things up for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this seems like we're going to have a perfect balance of both, just looking at the analytics. Obviously, things could go horribly wrong, or things could go amazingly well, but looking at all of this, thinking about all the weapons that we have, that those rookie wide receivers that Rodgers did not trust a whole lot last year are making those big steps, and he's making them accountable. He's gone out and quoted to the media that Scantling has like completely changed as a receiver and is looking amazing. Devontae Adams is obviously going to be one of the top wide receivers in the NFL, and then you still have those other guys like Kumaro and Allison who can sneak in there as well and upset what's going on. Hell, even Trevor Davis, who's been blowing camp away and was doing well last night, could even be a factor. So what I'm trying to say is, I think that there's a really, really good chance that we have a top 10 offense because 8 out of 11 times we have had that top 10 offense. And Rodgers, I think also, besides the huge chip on his shoulder that he has had for these past few seasons of the press calling him out or what have you, I think you're going to have an Aaron Rodgers revenge tour on the way. Now, again, we are still within a very difficult division that it keeps on getting better and has good-ass defenses, right? We have the Lions with their front seven. You also have a great Bears and Vikings defense. It's not going to be easy, but with all those things considered, with healthy running backs, with healthy wide receiver targets and healthy tight end targets, and a new offense coming in, I think there's no doubt that we're going to have a top 15 offense, but I think there's a really good chance that we have a top 10 offense. Just from looking at where we've gone in the past and how little Rodgers have had to work with, that's just how good he is. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. This could potentially be a prove-it year for Rodgers. Obviously, he's not going anywhere. And again, even if the Packers fail to have a top 10 offense this year, I'm not, throwing LaFleur out the window because it's tough being a first-year coach to kind of basically turn the ship around from 2 losing seasons. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy and all the social media you see down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course here on YouTube. And you can also check out patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. A big shout out and thank you to all my patrons over there. It's the easiest way to support me. And tonight at 12:01 a.m., I will be releasing for free my debut comedy album, Allergic to Fun, here on YouTube. Completely free. It came out a year ago tomorrow, and so that is my gift to you. A big thank you very much, as we are less than 600 subs away from the big 25K, and so a big thank you to you. But have a fantastic weekend. We'll be back next week with 5 episodes, Monday through Friday. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi, and as always, go Pack Go.